Good evening, good evening, good evening. Brother MG, what's up, McLean? Javier, what's up, Brother Centron? We got to get out on that road, get on them two wheels. Brother Cornick, Greg Centron. Yes, indeed. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Hey, Reagan. Brother Ruben Smith. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully everybody is okay. This is one of my days. I'm tired. It's been a long day. Let me wait another minute and we'll get right into it. What's up, John Waniki? Hey, yo, Milligan, you better stop your nonsense. Sana Malik, Nas, Nikita, how y'all doing? Junior, what's up? All right, let's get started. I'm gonna start off with some statistics, like I always start off. So nationally, we're up to 1.3 million COVID-19 positives. That's nationally. New York State, we're up to 335,000 COVID-19 positives. In New York City, we have 184,000 COVID-19 positives. The Department of Buses, we are 1,223 COVID-19 reported positives. So far, on a very good note, 2,624 employees have returned to work from either COVID-19 positives or quarantine. And that is as of today's date. Currently, we have 342 employees that are currently quarantined. On that note, bus operators specific that are available for work versus what our current schedule is. The Department of Buses is plus 500 bus operators, which, from a union standpoint is good news, because the more people that start to come back to work, the more people that we can give a break and give a RDO hookup or something to that nature to get some time off. May 15th, 2020 is the scheduled opening for New York State. It's still showing no change for New York City. So New York City won't be opening up the same time as the rest of the state will. Overcrowding is something that is said that will be addressed with Wildcat services, so as to have more service out there, so that we can lower the overcrowding that's going on over there. There's definitely an uptick in ridership. Generally, that uptick is happening throughout the system. Now, the overcrowding, which I want to address, the MTA has their numbers, the Department of Buses has their numbers, but there is a great deal of complaint that is going on out there about the homeless coming onto the buses, sleeping on the floors, and we're getting the complaints, and we're trying to push the complaints where they're supposed to go. Unfortunately, the complaints are not being answered as fast as they should be answered. The Department of Buses wants to move ahead with a summer pick. So if and when New York City opens, the Department of Buses will be able to support a New York City opening. On the maintenance side, we just need to make sure there's enough resources to support a 24-hour turnaround for daily disinfecting and cleaning of the buses. So you might have been asked to work overtime to get this done, or even maybe some of our bus operators might have been asked to do some work to get the disinfecting done. God bless everybody for the tasks that they put in. Again, Craig Shimpiano, I'll say this, I'm not one that likes to give a compliment to management, but in this case, once again, Craig Shimpiano gives a thanks to the bus operators through his conference call, and he's thanking the operators for their work and their dedication. So I don't know how you guys are going to take that, but the man is throwing out his thanks. All right. Again, let's go into the subway shutdown from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. The Department of Buses, on the first night, we saw 6,000 additional trips come onto the buses, and the balance of that moved to the subways between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. We saw similar trends occur on Thursday and Friday and throughout the weekend. Weekend service, as far as trips were concerned, was between 3,000 to 4,000 trips, respectfully. All right. As far as support for the local and express buses and the SBS 44 out in Queens, there's a collaboration with NYPD, MTA, police, bridge and tunnel, and private security that's supposedly under contract, including the Eagle team. Now, these folks are supposed to address some of the issues that we've been having with the homeless problem or any other issue that may come up on your bus. All right. There has been some good responses. Now, this is according to the Department of Buses, by the way. There's some good responses when the command center get the homeless issue. When the command center gets the homeless issue, they radio the NYPD operational center, and they're supposedly have been very responsive on the buses. Now, as far from the news I got today, the M60 has become very much of a problem, and we have forwarded that information. The union has forwarded that information, so we haven't heard anything about the M60 being addressed yet. So that information has been forwarded. The DOB believes they need more signage up front to let the customers know about coverings and covering their face with masks and whatever garments they can use to cover themselves. The Department of Buses is also working with the city in their homeless outreach to get them the help that they need. And it's quiet as kept. A lot of people don't know that New York City had partnered up with the Department of Buses, and we was doing homeless outreach for quite some time. I would like to say maybe a few years. We have a bus that go out at night, and when we pick up homeless people and take them to places to get them some help. Some homeless refused, some didn't. But this is something the Department of Buses have been doing, particularly in Michael J. Quill Depot for quite some time now. And it's really, really evident how much homeless that we have in this city, especially since the subway has shut down. Because, and I'm just being logical here. You shut the subway down from between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. You get everybody out the subway, right? Now they come on our buses, they infect the buses, you disinfect the subways. Now it's like a big circle, big 360 degrees. Now the subway opens back up at 5, 6 in the morning. Homeless obviously going back down to the subway. The homeless that was on the buses, now you got to clean the buses in and disinfect them. So I'm not sure if, logically speaking, I'm not sure if this solution really is working. I don't know. I will only know but when the numbers come in, and we got to see, because we can easily fudge those numbers. So we're paying attention, but I just want to be realistic here. Antibody testing. There was all of a sudden we got word there's suspension to the antibody testing. We don't have any word yet on when it will resume. MTA headquarters is looking to get more providers on board. Will let be known in a day or two. Today is the last day that the bioreference company will be on the properties. All right. Summer pick this is for our bus operators in Manhattan, in the Bronx particularly. We have recently the Department of Buses CTO's office has delivered prints to both divisions and all the chairmans via email, and within the email, it was sort of like a slam effect where curtailed prints were also included. Now, curtailment schedule is normally used for weather-related events, and the curtailment schedule does come with every pick. But for some reason, we felt that this pick, we didn't want to take no chances on what the Transit Authority is looking at regarding curtailed schedules. We don't want them to use a weather-related curtailed schedule for the whole purposes of a COVID-19 schedule. So there's some talks about that right now. You have to stay tuned on that. Well, we're supposed to be having a meeting either tomorrow or later in the week regarding that very issue about the pick, and if in fact we will be going forward with a pick. So I will stay tuned on that. Okay, going back to the homeless problem on the buses. It's a real joke. All right, we're going to be looking a little harder at that. Make sure that we can get our operators some relief out there. I want to shout out, we had 2 retirements that were done today. Traffic checker Michael Baisley. I want to shout that brother out. 35 years of service. He signed out today. And we wish that brother great endeavors. We also had revenue attendant Rudolph Brooks, 25 years of service, and we wish him well in all the endeavors and collect as much money as you possibly can from this authority. COVID-19 FMLA. I've put out there that I will be facilitating or helping getting people's grievances to the right place. Once again, I will continue You can send me any denials that you might have had at my email at deyates@twlocal100.org, and I will help facilitate your grievance and make sure that it gets to the proper place and heard. Okay? With that being said, I know it's kind of late for everybody. It's late for me, and I'm gonna call it quits right now. I'll answer some of your questions offline as I normally do. And before I go, hey Denver Welch, with you in mind, I want to shout out all the Bronx chairmen, Richie Fields, Montalvo, Lau, division officers, division chairman Marshall in the Bronx division, Tim Harrell in the Bronx division, all the Bronx officers. I want to shout y'all out. I failed to do that in my prior live. Again, I want to shout out everybody for the job that they're doing. Trying to navigate this minefield that we're working in. You guys have a very blessed night, and don't let up. Be safe, stay covered. Don't be foolish. Like we're starting to see some of these people out here being foolish, going out, acting like things are regular again. Let's be safe. All right? Continue to be safe. We have our families that we have to think about. The future must continue, so we have to be smart. Be safe, everybody, and be well.